War movies are a dime a dozen, but most focus on huge battles and heroic leaders. What about the desperate, nail-biting escapes that actually happened behind enemy lines? The stories of prisoners risking everything to break free from the most brutal camps get almost no spotlight. Think you know all the great WWII escape flicks? Think again. We're diving into 13 hidden gems that bring these daring breakout stories to life in ways Hollywood barely scratches. Buckle up. The One That Got Away, 1957. Ever hear about the only Axis POW who actually managed to escape back to his homeland? No? Well, The One That Got Away is your next must-watch. This British film tells the wild, true story of Franz von Wehr, a German fighter pilot with a knack for escape that would make Houdini jealous. Captured by the Allies early in the war, von Wehr refused to stay put. His escape attempts weren't half-hearted. From tunnel digging to daring chases across the English countryside, this guy tried everything. The film shows his relentless energy and uncanny ability to slip out of tight spots, keeping you on edge with every close call. What sets this movie apart is its focus on von Wehr's perspective, a German POW who's anything but a typical villain. You see his frustrations, fears, and the sheer determination driving him to get home. The film doesn't glamorize war, but it does humanize a side you rarely get to hear from in mainstream WWII stories. Von Wehr's escapes weren't just for freedom. They were a mission fueled by stubborn pride and survival instinct. His story adds complexity to the classic prisoner escape narrative, proving that sometimes the most unbelievable escapes come from the most unlikely people. Despite its age, The One That Got Away remains a tense, gripping watch. It's a mix of thriller and character study that digs into the psychology behind escape attempts, making you root for a guy who's technically the enemy, but undeniably gutsy. If you want a story packed with nerve, humor, and sheer audacity, this one's a hidden gem. Escape from Sobiere, 1987. Most World War II escape movies focus on POW camps, but what about the places designed to be death traps from the start? Escape from Sobiere sheds light on one of the most daring revolts in Nazi history, a mass breakout from the Sobiere extermination camp in occupied Poland. This isn't your typical war flick with clear-cut battles. It's a brutal, intense story of desperation and rebellion in the face of unimaginable horror. On October 14, 1943, hundreds of prisoners launched a well-planned uprising. They managed to kill several SS guards and overwhelm the camp's defenses. Out of around 600 inmates, about 300 escaped into the deadly surrounding forest. The odds were stacked against them. Only a fraction survived the war, but their revolt was so disruptive it forced the Nazis to shut down the camp entirely, erasing it from maps and planting trees over the site. The film doesn't sugarcoat the horrific conditions the prisoners endured, showing raw and unflinching scenes that remind viewers why escape was worth the risk. Unlike many Hollywood war films, Escape from Sobiere sticks close to the real story, using survivor testimonies and historical accounts to keep the narrative grounded. What stands out here is the collective effort. This wasn't just about a few individuals slipping away, but a coordinated rebellion that required incredible courage and sacrifice. The movie balances tension and heart, showing prisoners' resilience in the face of almost certain death. Despite being made for TV and lacking Hollywood's blockbuster budget, Escape from Sobiere earned critical acclaim and brought a crucial story to light that many had never heard before. It's a chilling, powerful film that forces you to confront the brutal realities of the Holocaust while celebrating the human spirit's fight for freedom. If you're ready to see an escape story that's as harrowing as it is inspiring, this one's a must-watch. The Great Raid, 2005. If you think prison breaks are all about stealthy escapes and quiet tunnels, think again. The Great Raid flips the script with a full-on military rescue mission behind enemy lines, based on the true story of the 1945 raid to save Allied POWs from a brutal Japanese camp in the Philippines. This film puts you right in the chaos of war, explosions, firefights, and heart-pounding tension as U.S. Army Rangers and Filipino guerrillas risk everything to pull off one of the most daring rescues of WWII. What makes The Great Raid different is its two-sided storytelling. You see both the soldiers planning and executing the raid, and the prisoners enduring horrific conditions inside the camp. Unlike many Hollywood war flicks, this one earned praise for realism. The filmmakers worked closely with surviving veterans and military historians to recreate the tactics, equipment, and even the prisoners' daily struggles with authenticity. There's no sugarcoating the horror inside the camp. The Password is Courage 1962. When it comes to escape movies, sometimes the best ones are about sheer stubbornness. The Password is Courage tells the true story of Dominic Bruce, a Royal Air Force officer who escaped not once, not twice, but multiple times from German POW camps during World War II. Bruce wasn't the biggest or strongest, but he had an unstoppable spirit that kept him trying, no matter the risks. This film isn't just about digging tunnels or sneaking past guards. It's about the cat-and-mouse game prisoners played to wear down their captors. Bruce's escapades include everything from forging documents to impersonating officers and pulling off incredible distractions. The movie has a lighter tone than many war dramas, injecting humor into tense moments, which helps highlight the prisoners' camaraderie and resilience. What makes this movie memorable is how it captures the mindset of prisoners who refuse to accept captivity. Bruce's repeated escape attempts weren't just about personal freedom, they were acts of defiance against the enemy, morale boosters for fellow prisoners, and ways to disrupt the German war effort. Critics have praised the film for its balance of suspense and humor, a rare combo in wartime cinema. It also stays true to the spirit of Bruce's memoir, giving audiences a glimpse into the daily grind and bold gambits of POW life. If you're tired of grim, heavy war films, The Password is Courage offers a refreshing mix of guts, wit, and perseverance. It reminds us that sometimes the best weapon against oppression is a quick mind and relentless hope. The Coldit Story, 1955. Escape stories from World War II don't get much more legendary than Coldit's Castle, the escape-proof Nazi prison for the most troublesome Allied officers. The Coldit Story dives into this fortress's infamous history, focusing on the relentless efforts of British prisoners to bust out against nearly impossible odds. What makes this film stand out is its focus on the psychological chess game between prisoners and guards. Coldit's wasn't just a prison, it was a high-stakes puzzle, with every escape plan more daring and intricate than the last. The movie centers on real events and actual prisoners, showing how boredom, frustration, and hope fueled ingenious schemes, from hiding in laundry baskets to fashioning makeshift gliders. Unlike flashy war movies with non-stop action, The Coldit Story is about slow-burning tension and smarts. The atmosphere is claustrophobic, but also charged with a quiet determination that keeps you hooked. You get the sense these officers weren't just looking for freedom. They were refusing to give their captors the satisfaction of holding them down. The film also captures the camaraderie and rivalry between prisoners, their creativity, and how they maintained their dignity despite brutal conditions. It's a tribute to human willpower and the little acts of rebellion that kept hope alive. Critics praised The Coldit Story for staying faithful to historical accounts, avoiding Hollywood exaggeration. Its impact is so strong it inspired several TV adaptations and kept Coldit's legacy alive in public memory. If you want a movie about brains over brawn, determination over despair, this one is a perfect pick. It's proof that sometimes the best weapon in war is simply refusing to be broken. A Bridge Too Far, 1977. Sure, A Bridge Too Far is better known as a massive battle epic, but buried within its sprawling story is one of the most daring escape attempts and POW rescues of World War II, Operation Market Garden. This movie isn't your typical prisoner escape flick, but it deserves a spot here for the prisoners and soldiers risking everything in a chaotic mission to break Nazi control and free trapped Allied forces. The film covers the ill-fated Allied airborne operation in the Netherlands, which aimed to capture key bridges to speed the invasion of Germany. But the operation went sideways, leaving thousands of soldiers cut off behind enemy lines and many taken prisoner. The movie captures the intense struggles these men faced, fighting for survival and trying to escape or hold out for rescue. What makes A Bridge Too Far stand out is its raw depiction of desperation and heroism under impossible odds. The movie shows the prisoners' attempts to break free amid a crumbling front and the risky rescue missions thrown together in chaos. You get a sense of the messiness of war, plans that fail, quick decisions that mean life or death, and the resilience of soldiers who refuse to give up. With a star-studded cast and meticulous attention to historical detail, the film paints a realistic picture of one of Wu's biggest gambles. It may not focus solely on escapes, but the scenes involving trapped troops trying to evade capture or bust out of captivity are some of the most gripping moments. If you want an escape story that's part military epic and part human drama full of courage, confusion, and sheer will, A Bridge Too Far deserves a place on your watch list. Stalag 17, 1953. If you think POW camp movies are all grim and heavy, Stalag 17 throws a curveball by mixing suspense with dark humor and mystery. Set in a German POW camp, this film isn't just about escape attempts. It's about the complicated relationships between prisoners and the suspicion that someone among them might be a traitor. The story centers on Sergeant Sefton, a cynical American who's both hated and admired by his fellow prisoners. When a sabotage attempt fails, fingers point at Sefton, turning the camp into a pressure cooker of mistrust. The movie brilliantly captures the tension of life trapped behind barbed wire, where every action could mean life or death. What makes Stalag 17 unique is its blend of gritty realism and sharp wit. It doesn't sugarcoat the harsh realities of captivity, starvation, boredom, and despair are all there, but it also uses humor as a survival tool. The characters banter, plot, and scheme, making the film feel like a lived-in world rather than just a war story. The escape plans are clever and daring, but the real heart of the movie lies in its portrayal of human nature under stress. It shows how hope and suspicion can live side by side, and how courage sometimes comes in unexpected forms. Critics love Stalag 17 for its smart script, memorable performances, and ability to balance drama with comedy. It won an Oscar for Best Actor, and it still stands out as one of the most compelling POW films ever made. If you want a prisoner escape movie that's equal parts thrilling and thought-provoking, with a good dose of humor, Stalag 17 is a timeless classic that deserves your attention. The Birdman 1971. Imagine plotting a daring escape from a Japanese POW camp, not through tunnels or trickery, but by stealing a plane and flying to freedom. The Birdman tells that jaw-dropping true story, making it one of the most original escape movies you've probably never heard of. The film follows a group of prisoners who hatch a bold plan to steal a Japanese aircraft and fly away from captivity. It's part thriller, part adventure, packed with tension and moments of hope that feel almost too good to be true. The stakes couldn't be higher, one wrong move and it's back to the horrors of camp life or worse. What makes The Birdman stand out is its unique escape method. While tunnels and disguises are common in POW stories, this one flies in a different direction, literally. The film shows not just the physical danger, but the incredible teamwork and nerve required to pull off such a stunt. Despite being a TV movie with a modest budget, The Birdman delivers a gripping narrative and solid performances that keep you hooked. It's a reminder that even in the darkest situations, prisoners found ways to dream big and act boldly. If you're looking for a fresh take on World War II escapes, something that mixes ingenuity with high-flying suspense, this movie is a hidden gem worth tracking down. The Wooden Horse 1950. When you think of escape stories, you might picture tunnels or daring run-for-your-life chases, but The Wooden Horse takes it to another level, with a twist of ingenuity that's part Prison Break, part circus act. This British film tells the true story of 3 Allied POWs trapped in a German camp during World War II who invented a genius plan involving, you guessed it, a wooden vaulting horse. The plan? Every day, the men would carry this wooden horse out to the same spot in the camp's exercise yard. While guards watched the routine, 2 prisoners hid inside a secret compartment in the horse, digging a tunnel beneath the yard. The wooden horse would shield their work from prying eyes, and vaulting exercises on top helped keep suspicion at bay. Talk about creative problem-solving under pressure. What makes The Wooden Horse stand out isn't just the clever escape plan, but how the film captures the mental grit needed to pull it off. It's not a flashy blockbuster with explosions and over-the-top stunts. Instead, it's all about patience, quiet bravery, and the slow, risky grind of escape attempts. The film feels grounded and believable, focusing on the tension of daily life as prisoners try to outsmart their captors with nothing but brains and willpower. Critics and war historians alike praise the movie for its accurate portrayal of POW life and escape tactics. It's a reminder that in the bleakest circumstances, human creativity can shine brightest. If you're tired of the usual war flick cliches, The Wooden Horse offers a refreshingly authentic glimpse into a real escape that's as smart as it is suspenseful.